Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I have neglected, ain't nothing short of it, neglected um, to make this topic something that I've spoken on this channel, and that is part of the problem. I, my very own self, am part of the problem, and I'm gonna fix that, or at least try to uh, put a drop in the bucket toward doing something the opposite way. Brittany Griner was arrested. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't have all the facts, but I'll go with what I have and just give you what I can. But she plays for a Russian team. She was arrested in Russia at the airport. Not sure where she was going, but apparently she had smoke vape. Y'all know vape on her, and that is considered contraband. And therefore, she was arrested for basically trafficking drugs. And it was a good portion of time, say 2 weeks, where the story was out there, it wasn't getting any traction, and it was vague reports out there that they did not have accountability for where she was. And for a nice long time throughout that week and 2 weeks, you weren't hearing a whole lot. Now recently I read an update that she's in good condition, which is not very encouraging, because why wouldn't she be in good condition? Why wouldn't she be in great condition? She's just arrested. She's not injured, right? I think these are things that have been neglected to be talked about on a lot of scales, not just on my behalf, on my part rather. And I read something just a minute ago that kind of made it click in my head that this is something that needs to be talked about on my channel. And it wasn't anything new. It was just the report once again reminding me. My cousin had posted, and she just said, "Find Brittany Griner," and I realized, I have not spoken on this. So my reason for not speaking on this, for anybody wondering, it was just I wasn't really speaking about nothing while this was going on. That was a nice long week where I really wasn't on my channel very much, but this is on my mind because I think, regardless of if you think Brittany did something truly wrong, obviously, as you could tell by my tone, I don't think that she should be given any reprimand for this. I think you take the contraband and you discard of it, and then you proceed to let her on the plane. I think that's the most decent thing to do in that situation. But I think the most important aspect of all of this is the fact that all of this went on the same week that Russia was invading Ukraine. So we were really concerned about where she was, because you understand that in situations of time of war, America's obviously trying to enforce Russia to do something that maybe, just maybe, they don't want to do, to say the least. And one could think that they would use Brittany Griner in some way, shape, or form as leverage against the U.S. Possibly that could be something that they would do. Now, granted, with 130% respect to Brittany, I don't think she would garner that type of demand, just based on just the ridiculousness of how we structure things in our country. If she were, say, LeBron James, this is obviously a different story. But because she's in the WNBA, she's women's basketball, they don't garner the revenue. And thus, you know how that goes. If you don't make money for the country, you ain't important to the country. I mean, that's all the way up to businesses, all the way down to gumshoes like myself. So she just doesn't have the type of cachet, even though she's a star in her league, a superstar in her league. They're not going to show her love. In terms of hurrying up and getting her back. We remember situations where other celebrities were overseas and they got in trouble. The one that's most recent that comes to mind is Jello Ball, when he got in trouble in I believe it was China, shoplifting some glasses or something like that back when he was at UCLA, and President Trump had to go get him up out of there and pardon him, or however that worked. That was the last time I seen something like that happen. But this is a little different, because it's wartime for that particular country. China wasn't at war at the time. There was no issue or conflict that we had to be alert of, especially not that same week. And it's just volatile, because obviously you look at their situation politically. I don't know the details, but from afar, the way it's being presented to us, it looks like, Russia's being aggressive and U.S. is trying to stop them. So the last thing you want is to be stuck over there when all of that's going on as a celebrity, for any reason. So it's just, obviously she was getting on a plane to get the hell out of there, and that's the main point. I think it's very obvious she was fleeing the country, so you got to be concerned about her safety off of that alone. Now they're talking about giving her extended time on how long it's going to be before they try her, so she's just kind of sitting in Russia. Hopefully they're doing right by her, but this is one of those situations where you know, if you're gonna play basketball overseas, and I know, you know, a lot of basketball people watch me at any given moment. If you're gonna play basketball overseas or anywhere, you gotta know the rules of the land, you know, and maybe you can get away with something here, but they ain't gonna treat it the same way elsewhere. And I just think that is the most important aspect of it. You gotta know what you can do, know what you can't do, and some mistakes can't be made twice. And we just got to be mindful of whatever we take to any airport anywhere. But even more so, this just brings me to the point where they, you know, something that my cousin also posted in that post was, it was a WNBA player who had posted or said somewhere, I guess she was asked a question, and answered it in such a way that said, you know, she was told not to make a big deal of Brittany Griner's arrest in Russia as a WNBA player. She was told by people above her in the organization or on her team, not certain, but she was given her marching orders by her superiors to kind of not make a big deal out of her arrest. And I just look at that situation, I say, why? Why would anybody not want to make a big deal out of this? And the answer, of course, is because of the wartime issue, because of the fact that she's not LeBron James or Brad Pitt or somebody like that, to where they're gonna just make sure that she's the priority in regards to our country getting back our superstar. And that, you know, it's just sad, man. I think this is one of those situations where you have to give conversation to the everlasting conversation about black women feeling like they're not protected or supported or feeling like they're the most vulnerable of us. And I think that's not too far-fetched. When you look at stories like this, you have to listen. You have to listen to that conversation. You know, whether you agree with it or not, these are the type of stories where you say, yeah, yep, I see it. I truly see it. There's no big deal made out of this. I'm not seeing Skip and Shannon talking about this. I'm not seeing all the stuff on the internet that you would see if somebody else was in this situation. I'm not seeing it. And she is in this position where, even though she broke the law, it's not necessarily something that we think she should be given all this type of consequences for, especially in a time when the country is going through what they're going through over there. So I want her to come home as an American citizen. I can say that I want our citizen home. I think this should be given more attention. I think we should be doing a lot more listening to black women when they tell us that they ain't protected, that they ain't getting the type of respect they deserve, that they're not loved, that they don't feel like they're giving the energy that others may get in situations like this, because we're seeing it as an example right here and now. And I just feel regrettable of the fact that I didn't speak on it sooner. But I think it's, this is right for me to speak now, and I just want the best for the Griner family and everybody. I know she has a child, you know what I'm saying? So this is an important situation. And if she has to see her legal process through, listen, this is the bottom line. If she has to see her legal process through in another country, I'm not sitting here saying she's in complete and utter danger out there just because of their circumstances. I'd imagine they're capable of handling situations out there in a way that is humane. It's not just all what we're seeing. And I don't think that jumping to the conclusion that she's in mortal danger is necessarily the way to go either. I just think that just because of the circumstances and how it looks, I would feel better if our citizen was in our country dealing with whatever she has to deal with. That's how I feel about it. If she has to answer for something, she did something, I'm sure she'll see her process through. But the most important thing is that she is in safe circumstances, that she's being fed, given proper decency, all the good stuff that comes with being a human being first. And then in a situation that she is supported by her fellow citizens here in the U.S. that are concerned for her well-being and want her to come home. That's the most important thing. All that other stuff, I don't have no facts and nothing like that. Why it's so bad that she has vape on a plane, I'm not aware. Maybe there's something to that, maybe. But she should just be treated with the same respect that you would give any other Russian citizen in this situation. And I think America should be on top of it, making sure that is the case. Not because she's a basketball player, not because she's a black woman, but because she is a citizen. High profile at that. Going through something while it's wartime, and we need to be very, very mindful of that. So that's what I wanted to say, man. Free everybody who's unlawfully locked up or did something they didn't been convicted of something that they did not do, is what I'm trying to say. Free all those people, and that's the thought, man. PDF 44. Thank you all for watching. I'm out.